All right, what's going on, everybody? So I have a very big video for you today. There's a lot going on right now, and there's a lot coming up on the horizon. And before I say anything, I want to give this caveat. Everything I say right now is not to drive misinformation. It's not to drive propaganda. It's simply to give you facts of what's going on right now. But the problem is it's not easily Googleable. It's not easy to find, and you have to do some digging. And I'm not giving a perspective one way or the other. And like I've said before in any video, always go to the Lord and pray about it. Don't just take it and eat it like a buffet. Even if I say it, even if anybody else says it, you have to go to the Lord in prayer and to seek Him to say, man, is there validity behind this? And of course, we don't know the full story behind a lot of things, but it's very easy to see that there's a duality, there are people on opposing ends, and it makes you wonder, it makes you question, what is it that's actually going on? And chief among everything going on right now is the information war that we are living in. And everything going on right now, from the Twitter battle to the Ministry of Truth and the Disinformation Governance Board, with everybody that is on the right or the left, calling each other conspiracy theorists, calling each other radical, calling each other names, Twitter and Elon Musk, and this new thing about exposing bots and Truth Social and many other journalists and people trying to go out there and advocate for their side, right? What's missing is a lot of objective truth, meaning showing you that this is what's happening, and then leaving that up to the viewer, the reader, to discern whether that they think that's true or not. But right now, what we see is that a lot of information is suppressed. A lot of information is called propaganda or misinformation, and people just don't have access to looking at the articles online on Google or wherever it is. And you have to go through back channels to see what's actually going on. And so I follow Telegram, I follow many sources, many mainstream articles, many different types of people to get their perspective, just to have an understanding of what people are saying. And so even in this video, I'm telling you it's not misinformation. It's presenting to you what people are saying and what's going on. So I want to share with you guys three things, or rather four, briefly, that is thick in the war that's happening in the information, and why all these things are coming to a head. And it's coming to one major explosive, what seems like an explosive event. And a lot of people are trying to counter this and get ahead of it. And you can see that clearly by people tweeting this misinformation or disinformation governance board with Truth Social and Twitter and many other people trying to set themselves up. And it's very clear, right? And over the past year and a half, and even the last couple of years, a lot of this continual narrative of people declaring things, and then the other side, or vice versa, saying, oh, no, that's baseless, that's misinformation, and all these different things. So again, I'm not here to propose one side is true or not. I'm just telling you what the battle is. And so there are three main battles going on right now that a lot of people, because of the headache that they have in trying to discern the truth, they have distanced themselves from saying, man, I don't want to do any research. I don't want to read into it because it's just divisive and it's very messy. And the three things that are very heavily on the side of voting for midterms for the Republican Democrat side, from a perspective of people around the globe looking at certain things, the three main things that are happening right now is, first, the COVID narrative. There's a lot of information that's coming out with the vaccines, Pfizer, and releasing some of the documents. You have all these different studies now coming out with natural immunity or therapeutics, with people and mask effectiveness, the vaccines, the efficacy, and all these different things, the different types of people, what's happening. And it's very clear there are people that are on either side of the fence. And why is it that there's such a strong desire to say, hey, this is the mainstream narrative, this is what's true, this is what is not true? And you can clearly see there are a lot of people that are doctors that have strong accolades, different expert opinions on different things, and a lot of them are getting canceled, silenced, or the other side is getting amplified. And so there's a big issue going on there. And it's still very heated, right, even now, but a lot of people are just hush-hush about that. The other topic is election fraud. And yet, again, this is a very sensitive topic, and I'm not here to push one side or not or the other, but it's very clear that there's still a lot of people, whether it's Republicans, whether it's conservatives, whether it's people that just want quote unquote truth to be out there. They are giving this everything from the 2000 Mules documentary that's out there right now to the talks of decertification. And this is real stuff, guys. Karen Fann, Attorney General Mark Brnovich of of Arizona, Robin Voss of Wisconsin, Tim Ratham, and a slew of other people that are talking about decertification and all the different talks of election fraud and everything out there with regards to what seems to be video or proof or various things. And there's other things people are saying that are not out there yet. Military tracking, digital stuff, foreign interference, and all that stuff. And again, I'm just saying these are discussions that are happening that are factual in the sense that people are, they have their whole, I guess, their life behind it and saying that this is what's true. And again, I have my opinion, but I'm just telling you what's a heated discussion right now in this world. And a lot of people are writing it off as, oh, no, don't look here. It's baseless. Don't talk about it. It's disproven, whatever it is. But it's a clear fact that a lot of people are still very gung-ho about this topic. The other topic is Russia, Ukraine, right? A lot of people, they're not talking about it, but there's a huge discussion going on with the UN Security Council, with Russia and what they're presenting as what they believe to be evidence of involvement of the US government. And just on May 3rd or 13th, my apologies, there has been what Russia has presented as what they say is evidence of and their accusations of the US DNC, right? Creating a secret bioweapons program in Ukraine, multiple accusations of breaching the International Biological Weapons Treaty, and then invoking Articles 6 and 7. And then the US disregarding that as disinformation and vetoing any movement for investigations. And all these documents that are coming out, and if you see some of these documents that Russia is presenting with George Soros, Obama, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, and the pharmaceutical companies, and all of this stuff that's going on with regards to funding, it goes back to Hunter Biden and many of these. And again, I'm just presenting to you what they are saying, but this is not easily Googleable. You can go on many alternative sites, Rumble and all these different things that show the full, UN Council meeting of Russia and their translations of what they're saying. And this is facts of what is going on. It's up to us to take it as a grain of salt to see if it's true or not. But why isn't this being talked about? That all the different accusations, all the different documents that are coming out, and yet China, Russia, many other countries are on one side and saying that there's justification for going in to Ukraine and to clean out what would possibly, or in some sense, as an accusation, be the next worst COVID attack, right? And so many other things with neo-Nazis and why some people, all these badges and patches on people's, uniforms and all these different things and accusations of genocide and what's going on, who's actually killing civilians, if they are dying, if at all, blaming Russia, blaming the Ukrainians and the army or the military, the neo-Nazis and the Azov battalion. Again, guys, these are facts of what people are saying as this is true or that's not true. There's such a duality of two different sides in these topics that it's going crazy. And that's why there's such a push from many sides saying this is misinformation or disinformation. And so those are three main things that are happening, especially from an American or the US perspective. And there are many other things going on. Global affairs. Why aren't people talking more about China with North Korea and the missile activity, the provocation activity in Asia with China and Taiwan and many other things? Why are more people not dissecting and looking at the Durham investigations that I talked about a couple of videos ago? There are a lot of things going on which warrant more attention, in my opinion, to looking at it objectively, as opposed to silencing it and saying, hey, nothing to see here, nothing to look at, just believe us. This is what the truth is. And so there's such a war on information, that there's not enough of a objective discussion and saying, hey, let's present to you what people are actually saying and what people are actually doing, as opposed to writing them off as misinformation, as conspiracy quacks, as disinformation, propaganda type people. Where is the presentation of, hey, this is just what they're saying, you can believe it or not, but there's such a duality, there's such a divisiveness in some sense, whether made by media or not, whether it's done because people are so angry and saying, man, why don't you have the voice of some of these doctors? Why don't you have the voice of some of these people that are researching, conservatives or not, and saying this is what we need to pay attention to? Never mind you if you believe that's fact or not, but to call attention to all these people crying out and saying, hey, look at what's going on here. So again, guys, I'm not presenting to you an opinion one way or the other. I'm just telling you what's being talked about behind the scenes in some sense, because a lot of the mainstream media is not covering these things. And I say this because all of this battle, it's so thick. So many people are dedicating their lives to it, making documentaries, saying and reporting on these, what they believe is fact and truth, but yet people are not giving the time of day to these people. And so again, all of these narratives and these positions, they're not dying, guys. In fact, more people are, if you want to call them being red-pilled, if you want to call them being convinced and won over, are stepping up and saying, hey, there's something here. There's something on this side, there's something on that side. And everybody is having their say and saying, hey, this is what the truth is. This is not, this is misinformation. So you have to realize that there's a preconceived notion, there is a cap or an ideology that people put on, a Western ideology, a Eastern ideology, a conservative ideology, a liberal ideology, whatever you want to put in terms of your cap being on to look at the viewpoint and the lens for which you want to look at the world on. There's so many of this, but yet there's such a lack of attention to saying, let's look at this objectively. Let's have two people come to the table and discuss it. Elon Musk with Twitter and all these different people are saying, hey, let's have more of a open discussion, as opposed to saying, look, this is baseless. This is misinformation. This is propaganda. Let's take a look at these things. And so again, guys, something explosive is on the horizon with regards to everything coming together into this basically melting pot of big things that are coming out. And again, guys, a lot of people, they're not connecting the dots. I'm not insinuating something of a larger conspiracy, but I'm telling you, all of these things seemingly look like they're connected. And the more that we dig and the more that people are trying to make sense of everything, the more that as time goes on, there's going to be something very explosive, not only with regards to information being revealed. As I've said before, there's a lot of exposure, a lot of things in darkness that will be brought to light, but also from a bigger perspective of why is it that certain things are being delayed? Why is it that not a lot of things are happening with regards to the Durham and investigations and military action? If for whatever reason, one side is correct or another, right? Why is it that there is such a delay? Is there something else going on with regards to possibly a coordinated effort with timing everything, with, I don't know, midterms, with seeing Biden, seeing what could have been or would have been, and all these different things that are going on? Why did certain things happen after the Olympics? Why did certain things happen with Russia? And why are certain things happening now with documentaries, with information, with everything coming out? Is there something coordinated or not? Are people looking into it too much and reading too much into it or not? So these are kind of the dots that we have to connect, because a lot of these things seem to be connected. And so again, guys, this is food for thought. This is something that you can pray and ask the Lord for further clarification and discernment in, because what's coming down the pipeline, guys, is a lot of warfare with regards to believing, hey, my side is correct or this side is correct. My side is this side is misinformation and that side is true. There's a lot of this going on, and it's getting thicker and thicker. So a lot of people, they have to be right with the Lord in this time to be able to discern, guys. So again, guys, this is not misinformation. This is not whatever. So I'm trying to save myself from what is this constant audit of all the things that people are saying, and not to be censored or banned or whatever it is, but also to tell you factually what's going on, what people are actually saying, what's actually being an allegation or a presentation of what they believe is information. And for many people to say, hey, look at this side, look at that side with me. Don't look over here, don't look over there, but to believe this or believe that. So more things are coming out, guys. It's up to us to be able to get right with the Lord, to be able to really discern in this time, guys. So love you guys. Talk to you guys very soon.